introduce yourselves, have fun. With sparring, for me, sparring is not beating the shit out of Mark, right? It's all skill.
What FMA Supply does is we bring equipment made from raw materials from the Philippines.
Appreciate you, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Academy, fortunately, he's a long
Julius Vladimir from Mactan, Diego. Also studied a little bit with Mactan. This is longer.
Philip Papilia with Island Warrior 5-6.
The craftsmanship and the materials, the quality of the materials.
I help run FMA Discussion. I'm one of the moderators and the hosts.
All the camaraderie that's coming out, it's regardless of system and style. So that's the thing that I really want to participate, because I love to do this kind of events with everybody else in the same mindset.
Come up, choose your weapon with your partner, go out, find a spot here, and then 5 minutes on, go, just have fun. You know, I don't think somebody's gonna spar the whole 3 hours, and then the food's gonna be done soon, so eat.
FMA Life here at the Sparbecue. I'm here with Julius Francisco, aka JV. Julius, tell us about yourself and what you do, and about the Sparbecue.
Hopefully I'm in my mark here. But I help run FMA Discussion. I'm one of the moderators and the hosts. I've been involved with it pretty early on. We're an entire team. It's not just me and Dean. It's Brian, Martin, Tom, sometimes Dwight Howard. Dwight helps as well. Yeah, sorry, not the basketball player. The Inasano guy. So they all help, you know. Primarily the YouTube, the host is me and Dean primarily, but the other guys help too. We're an entire team, so it's not just two people.
So it started out as a YouTube channel, and then the Facebook group is kind of like an offshoot of the...
You know, they came pretty much around the same time.
Oh, I see.
The main thing was Dean came up with it so that you can have a place that people can have a safe discussion without people being trolled or my style's better than your style, you suck, you know?
Oh, right.
We've had that during the last 3-4 decades of, like, you know, some type of presence electronically in the internet, you know, the last 3 decades or so. And we need less of that. We need an actual safe spot where people don't feel attacked.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we could talk about people that are not so known, styles that are not so out, you know, like let people know about these people that are doing great for the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm a direct beneficiary of your guys' work. I joined the group, and I'm seeing all this information as a fairly new practitioner myself. It's been great to have that place to go to see, you know, to learn about other art, you know, all the different arts, all the different styles, and all the different teachers. You guys are doing awesome work.
I'm trying to do more history episodes, like some of the stuff that people don't know about like the history of the Philippines, and I'm gonna try to do more of that, because obviously the bulk of our interviews, like GMs, like grandmasters or progenitor systems or inheritors or whatnot, are like the most famous styles, you know. Or you're gonna try to do more of like styles that people haven't covered, most of the public don't know, that are like whatever they are based on. They could be based in the Philippines or the United States or the European Union or wherever in the planet. That's the goal. We want more events like this where we're at. A Sparbecue is an event where, you know, you can spar however you want. You know, you can even have grappling in there if you want. But people from different systems coming together, sense of brotherhood, no politics. We're friends at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, it doesn't have to be dog brother rules. You know what I mean? It could be the old touch and point, the Olympic rules, that what they have in the ASEAN, or La Meco rules. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
So
yeah. So that's awesome. So yeah, two things that are like, they're kind of congruent to each other. What you guys do on FMA Discussion and the Sparbecue like bringing people together, trying to create a spirit of sharing.
No, look, I'm not. I don't want people to think that the FMA discussion is endorsing, the thing.
Oh.
But I'm speaking for myself.
Oh, right.
Like, we would need more things like this, essentially. Because I can't speak for our entire team. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure most of them has that same spirit of brother. That's why they got involved. Because we're all from different systems. We don't all come. I've never trained with Dean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never trained with Dean. I never trained with Martin. I've never trained with Brian. So, I'm not affiliated with them in that way, in system style, but we all get along.
Yeah. Awesome. So you're also living the spirit that you're trying to bring about through the discussion forum.
Yeah. I mean, some of the people here drove 400 miles or whatnot, just or more, just to be here. So
yeah, are you seeing more of a need for that? I think the way that we traditionally work, we're tribal people, and in social environments, we could there can tend to be some political.
I mean, you see that even online, that carries over online. I mean, I get it. Some factions, even some people that start channels, they're in it for the controversy because it's the notoriety. They want to get clicks. Because ad revenue, right? But what I'm telling people is you don't need that. Like, you really don't need that. Because the thing is, there's interaction in FMA community outside of this. You don't want to create bad blood and then later on find out 20 years down the line, I need that person. Well, that person's pissed off at you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a sense of katipunan, a sense of, getting along.
Yeah. That sense of everybody has, we have such richness in the variety. Let's bring it together.
Yeah, because I'm learning a lot. Like some of the systems, you get criticism sometimes of different sparring formats, like Doce Pares with the thing. No, you learn a lot of that because you get used to a stress inoculation because you feel claustrophobic when you're getting hit with the abanicos, right? Then there's certain systems that's oh, why do you stop at one shot? Well, in real life, if that's a blade, your arm's gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to get used to playing defense all the time. And then so other systems is they don't stop until they keep on being able to hit the person until they themselves get hit, and then they pause. There's merits of that too, because in a real fight, if you got hit once and your arm's chopped off and the other person sees it, he's not going to stop at that. He's going to go for a headshot or throat shot or whatever. Yeah. There's merits in different type of sparring formats. Yeah. And people get confused. It's not just about sparring. It's not just the application. There's other purposes for FMA, sense of community, sense of historical belonging, culture, tying to your roots, And then the other thing is, I used to be a lot more chubby than this. The other thing is health benefits, I used to be close to 300 pounds, and
it's giving you an outlet for maintaining.
Yeah. So I like what you guys are doing. I hope you, do something. Yeah, you're not one of those controversial channels, I think. You know what I mean? So don't. You don't have to go for the clickbait thumbnails. Right. Or topic discussions. You can just keep professional so that you because you don't know. Yeah. There might be people that you might need outside of an FMA context later on in life.
Right.
And then you're oh, you know what? I pissed that person off 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, true.
And
going back to the sparring thing, what art I admire in the way that they spar and how it is in their system. I wonder often how it would be if we could adopt that same view of sparring as how Muay Thai fighters spar. There's a sense of play.
Yeah.
You can do. I'll let you do your technique on me.
Well, actually, that's what me and Kuya Alex was doing. Alex Ursha. So he's kind of a hint, wink, wink, hidden secret of FMA. So go reach out to him. Try to find it. What's it called? Court him. The legal. Because the reason why a lot of Muay Thai stylists are able to have 300 fights is because they're not damaged. Why? Because their sparring is touch spar.
Yeah.
Because people are like, how come like when Westerners do the Muay Thai, they can only do like 55, and then all of a sudden they have CTE, right? And then you see some of these Muay Thai guys, they have careers, they start fighting when they're like 14. And then they're fighting up to the way, you know, now because of scientific sport nutritioning, they're fighting until, even without steroids. Like, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, performance enhancing is not, it's a problem in all sports. But like, that's how they're able to fight. They're in their late 30s. You got guys like Sanchai. He's like freaking like Bernard Hopkins style, you know, well into older age, which back then would be like a geriatric, right? The reason why they're able to keep that is because they have that touch spar. They don't go full blast because you want to keep your prime. A lot of people's prime is lost in the gym, you know? And so the same thing with FMA. You don't have to go Dog Brothers to find efficacy in combat. You can find us what's efficacious based on practical format. Like, it's like, okay, boom, like I hit you and you know what, your arm's chopped off, like work on your defense, right? Because like in a real life, if you're fighting with an ironwood stick, not talking about rattan, or like a freaking made something out of aircraft aluminum or lead, you're done. You get hit with a tempo shot. Yeah. You're not wearing a helmet in real life. You get what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you can think about Berimbolo in the street. Look, I practice, my first love is grappling because that's my base art. I wrestled in high school. But is it practical to take somebody down with a double leg takedown and then be on someone's guard when they freaking shank you in the femoral artery? Of course not. That's freaking ridiculous. You're gonna do a lockdown Berimbolo in the street, dude. Like, you're losing blood. You're dead now. It doesn't make sense if it's a double kill. FMA is a war art, so that means that it's about killing people. Sorry, like that's really the original intent of it. So you should never forget about that context. Like, you're not gonna tap in real life. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, learn all arts. I'm not gonna disparaging all. I'm one of those people that believe in hybridization, like being good, try to be as good as possible at everything, like at every range. I'm talking about even rifle range, you know, sidearm. We're a weapon art, you know what I mean? And then get good with blade, get good at clinch, get good at Muay Thai, get good at boxing, have a wrestling base, get good at sambo, right? But you have to know the context. You're not gonna be taking that guy down when he has like 6 guys with him. Someone's gonna, you know, stomp on your head. So that's kind of what's missing in a lot of martial arts. In some FMA systems, they never forget about that. They're always thinking about, how can I cheat? How can I one up the person? Because there's no rule, right? It's like, how can I make this work? Like, can I get out of his guard? Grab his balls. Like, you know what I mean? That's your guard passing technique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gouge his eye. That's how you get out of, you know, getting mounted or whatever, you know? Yeah. So there's ways to train that. Like, that has some force. You know, it doesn't have to be a cooperative partner. You can wear goggles. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can get the Aku strike knife, you know, or one of those no-lie blades. There's ways to train this without ruining your physical health. Because I see that as a problem for a certain generation of FMAers. You know, they're like, oh man, I'm on my 5th knee operation. Well, yeah, you shouldn't have been sparring that hard, bro. You know? You have a family to take care of. I'll tell you what, the old manos, like, you always see these videos, it's like, how come they're moving their 80s and 90s and they're owning guys that are like less than half their, you know, they have 50 years older than that person. Why? Because they knew how to train right. At the same time, sharpening these combat attributes. They had a way of training where the combat attribute was at a very high level, and they build it up over time without risking their health. So that's really, to me, that's the most important when it comes to, once you do FMA and you hit your 30s, pay attention to training modalities that will allow you to be combat efficacious on different situations, but at the same time keeping your health, that you're a functioning human being and not bedridden, you know? Because what's the use of knowing all these deadly techniques and then, oh, everything hurts.
Everything hurts.
Yeah.
I can't even get to the door.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, if you have any other questions for me, or
just any final thoughts that you want to might want to share with the community.
I think what we need to do is just don't troll. You know, try to have some sense of community self-control. When you see someone in your system that's like playing a troll online or, excuse me, bad-mouthing certain things, why do you need that? The attitude that we need to have is very similar to what GM Bobby has. When we go to a seminar, he doesn't badmouth people. He always like, I'm below that person. Why? You never burn bridges, and you never know when you're gonna need someone. You know, you have to have that Godfather Padrino type of mentality, which most Filipinos have, like the older generation. Because the thing is, you might not need them now. They might not need you now. What happens 10, 15 years from now? And it has nothing to do with the stick. It could be like, yeah, you know what? I need to have a cake for my kid's, you know, wedding or whatever. Oh yeah, you pissed that person off. That guy's family training. They're not gonna want to do business with you. So these are things that never forget community when you're doing FMA. Is that's the reason why you train so hard about killing another person, because you're supposed to protect your tribe, you protect your community. Never forget that's the original purpose of it. A lot of people forget, and they see it as like, oh, I'm in a fight league, I'm in a fight club. And it's just like, really? Ghetto boys don't think about joining a fight club because they don't need to fight. They don't need to get out of their system because they grew up that way. You know? It's not kind of like make it like you're a character in like a Brad Pitt film. No. I get that some people are like that. There's room for that, but I think the majority of FMAers, they need to think about the community. Never forget for community. Yeah.
We are not in the old times where we need to protect our styles and where we have to be divisioned.
We have this. Forget the style.
Yeah. We don't have to be divisioned here. We have a treasure trove of beauty and art in all the variety of arts, and we can share in that, and we are together. The Filipinos and the extended family through practitioners of the FMA. We can bring about a different spirit and a new way in the art. To be unified and sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, here's the thing. People want to think of themselves as like, I am Hickson, I'm hard Bruce Lee. All it takes is one, 45 ACP, and all that 5 decades of skill is just going out of the window. You're not here for that. And I don't believe in like, I'm the best fighter of all time. Really? There's been like 10 plus billion humans that have been alive over time. How do we know that we don't have a time machine to test how the great fighters were in Greece back in the day? You know what I mean? And it's just silly. And then at any given day, at any given time, someone can check you. You can smack you in the back of the head. Your skill's gone. You're not here for that. So that needs to go out of the window. We need less of that. We need community. And more community that we have, the better. Don't be too hypercritical of people. Like, yeah, there's a certain place for everything. Like, even like when we think it's like, oh, that sparring methodology is not good. How do you know? So you have to pay attention to these things. There's a time and place for everything.
So JV, is there any places in particular that we can find your work?
I'm just gonna give, because I don't want to do self-promotion of what I do and earn money from the thing. I just want to give a promotion on FMA Discussion, right? Because we're talking about an FMA context here. I don't want to just sell my artwork or whatever. Go to YouTube, right, and type FMA Discussion. Don't forget to click the like, share, and subscribe, but hit the bell notification icon. That's a very big thing, so like the latest updates of what we're doing. And if you have not, join our group in Facebook, FMA Discussion, but answer all the questions. Otherwise, we won't approve you. We take that very diligently now to like keep a really clean place, space. People just like click join, but they don't answer any other questions. That's the one thing, like, that if anyone's watching this video, if you want to join us, read the whole thing. We have group rules. If you don't abide by them, you don't click yes, we'll abide by them, we're not going to approve you. So pay attention to that website, and don't forget our, maybe in the future we will do other things, maybe have like a site, but right now we're just strictly concentrating on the Facebook and YouTube. But in the future, that might, we're thinking about it.
Yeah, nice. I wasn't aware of the YouTube for some reason. who heard the discussion. I enjoy it. Thank you again for your work in doing that.
We average about three to four a week now. So about three. We try to make it about a 3 a week.
Check it
So-
out, man. I'll like and subscribe and hit the bell icon too. Thanks, JV, very much.
Thank you. Thank you.